Casting Link is no easy task. Silent hero, iconic look, and the weight of Hyrule on his shoulders. So who's worthy of donning the green tunic? Let's jump in what we want from Link in the live-action Legend of Zelda movie.
For me, I know exactly what I want from Link. I want someone who has the ability to go on this adventure, who is skilled. Link can hold his own with some of the best swordsmen in the world. He's an excellent marksman. He can handle a bow. He could ride a horse. He could sometimes transform into different animals. He goes on these lengthy adventures. That's what I want from Link. I want a good-looking dude because, hopefully he gets the girl. And I want someone who is athletic, caring, charming, witty. Because, again, he goes on these adventures where he faces these monsters in these various dungeons and he has to do all these puzzle solving. He has to be intelligent, which is very key for Link. I want an intelligent Link. I think we all want an intelligent Link. He has to be very, very intelligent because he's able to solve all these puzzles. For many of us who have played the video games for the last, 30, 35 years, 40 years maybe, we know that you can't be dumb and play a Legend of Zelda. Some of these puzzles are so hard. How many of us have been stuck in these dungeons for hours, maybe days, maybe weeks? So Link has to be someone who's highly intelligent, but also very athletic because he's riding horses, he's climbing mountains, he's in and out of volcanoes. That's what I want from Link.
Absolutely. And I think you touched on something that I do want to push forward is in a lot of iterations, he is the silent protagonist, but I feel like he doesn't have to be in this movie. And I am really looking forward to seeing who they come up with as an action-packed adventure movie with Link and Zelda would just be amazing. And before we get further in the video, we want to thank today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Do you have trouble sleeping? Do you need complete darkness to fall asleep? Look no further than Manta Sleep Sleep Mask. They block out the light completely, and they're extremely comfortable too. And for those side sleepers out there, have no fear. They won't fall off or shift as you move. There'll be a link in the description below, and make sure to use the code NERDDoctor10 to get 10% off your order today. And now, back to the video.
So for our first pick, and we both agreed on this, I just went over the weekend to watch How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. And the lead character, Mason Thames. Yeah, from the moment I've seen this kid in interviews, the press, and the red carpet, and then actually watching the movie, as soon as I think I was maybe 10 minutes into the movie, I was like, "That's Link." I know that I said I want a more capable Link, but that's just the role that this kid was playing in this movie in How to Train Your Dragon. He was playing Hippo. So, but yeah, he looks like Link. And just maybe do the hair a little bit more to the back. I could totally picture this kid as an adventuring, lovable elf. I think he'd be great. When I look at him, and I look at pictures of Link in any iteration, I'm like, yeah, that's Link 100%.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but in the interviews I have seen, he even talked about how to prepare for his How to Train Your Dragon role. He worked with horses and how to tame horses, to ride horses, to deal with the feeling of How to Train a Dragon. And the fact that he always has experience with horses, and we know how big of a role horses can play in the Zelda movie, I think that's just adds even more to him. I think if they don't go with a known actor, of course, the biggest one is just unknown. There are so many people who are just undiscovered that have done tremendously in their roles. We had Hayden Christensen from Star Wars, who has done a couple of things before Star Wars, but Star Wars was his big project. And getting an actor like that, where you don't know much about him, that has this more mysterious vibe going into it, as you don't know anything about this actor, you don't know how good they're going to be, and not to mention they don't have the pressure because they've never really gone too much into it, and no one on social media is really going to be complaining about them as they don't know who these people are. Whereas when Robert Pattinson was cast as the Batman, everyone called him the Twilight Boy, and they hated it. They hated the Little Mermaid casting. If you go unknown, no one's going to hate it. Although I am going to put out a name here for unknown, which is kind of goes against the purpose of it. The only reason I do is because this actor's only done stunt work, hasn't done any acting work. But Aiden Kennedy, he's done a lot of stunt work. And I think for Link, if you're going to go for more of this action, then having someone who's familiar with this, as he did the stunt work for young Matt Murdock in Daredevil, and he did Karate Kid's Legends as well, that just came out. I think having someone who's familiar with that could definitely add further authenticity to the role. And if they do go the silent protagonist route, go for it. This guy's never acted. That's not going to hurt him. And the fact he has to do stunt work I feel like it would work.
This is where we get a little bit divisive. We were, talking a bit about who would we want, and we agree on two. And yes, one is unknown. But now I told Griff, Josh Hutcherson is someone that he's in his early 30s. He's not old, he's not young, but I think that kid is a solid actor. I haven't loved everything that I've seen him in, but that's because of the project. But I've liked him throughout his career. He was great in Bridge to Terabithia. He just has this look to him that he can carry a sword. And, we talked about that at the beginning of the video. Link is athletic. Link rides horses. He's strong. He's, agile. So this kid, he's a good actor. I could see him as an elf. I could see him as a, experienced, prepared elf. Link's not a punk. This kid doesn't look like a punk. He looks like he can handle a couple of push-ups. He could definitely lift a sword. I would really, if this kid was cast today, I'd be happy.
I can't take it seriously. I tried so hard. You want Peter fucking Malark to play Link. I can't. I'm so sorry. I can't see it. I think it's just because of his past roles. I do agree. He's a good actor. I can't see him in this role. His face is like super square. If he gets cast, it's a great job. Fantastic. I want whoever does best in the role, but dude, Peter fucking Malark, Bread Boy, is gonna be Link.
Well, I do want to defend that part, and
it's definitely the role. I know it's 100% the role. It's just
100%. Because he's falling into the mistake that I did with Heath Ledger when he was announced.
I'm very much aware.
Because my theory was like the Brokeback Mountain kid, and with Robert Pattinson, I was the one guy saying, "Oh, it's the freaking Twilight kid," but I hadn't even seen Robert act. Yes, Griff has seen this kid act. So, but I think he's basing it off of the characters he's played.
He's just so iconic in the role. I can't get out of my head. That's the issue.
Oh, okay.
And I want someone for Link where I see him and immediately think Link. If I look at Josh Hutcherson, I'm immediately going to think Peter Malark, the guy from FNAF. He looks too much like Josh Hutcherson where I look at him and can't see Link. I would only see the actor. For me, I think, and I've thought about this since I've seen him for a while, and I think if you're going to go with an older Link, like paired with like Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, I think get Thomas Brodle Sangester. Even though he's like 34, 35, he still looks like he's in his late 20s, early 30s. He's a great actor. He was in Maze Runner. He's been acting for a couple of decades. He started acting as a kid. He's a fantastic actor. And again, he looks like an elf. When I look at him, it's just immediately he looks like the younger Link right here. He looks perfect for the role. I do think he's maybe a little bit too small, but that's something that can easily be fixed.
That's
just
what
by
I was just
bulking
about to say.
And he does look a little small. I do admit.
Talking about not being able to see the kid in the role. I understand that we live in a world now where personal trainers and they beef you up and anyone can bulk up for pretty much any role. But this kid doesn't strike me as the guy who's going to defend a kingdom, let alone a princess, against a legion of monsters. He doesn't look like he just doesn't look threatening. Link doesn't look threatening, but he also doesn't look.
He's never looked threatening.
Yeah, but there's toughness to Link.
You're talking about this Link right here in the center. Toon Link right here looks tough and.
Well, that's a little Link, but Link has never, whether he's
always been fierce.
Yeah, exactly. And this kid looks so south from fierce. It's not even funny. Like, this kid looks like the kid that gets his ass kicked a lot. And that's my issue with the kid. I'm not attacking his acting. I think he's a fair actor. I'm not attacking his looks. It's just, well, yeah, kind of. But based on, and again, I'm sure they'll put him through sword training. I'm sure they'll have him riding horses and doing all sorts of great stuff. And if he gets cast in a role and does a great job, awesome. But just based on looking at him, nah, not so much, man.
Fair enough. But let us know in the comments if you agree with any of these or if you think they should just go with unknown. And feel free to toss out any fan cast you think for actors that should play Link. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video and you haven't seen our fan cast for Zelda, you're most certainly going to enjoy that one.